This is the Audi Q4 40 E-Tron. In this video, I want to find out the range in real-life driving conditions. I will test the range on the highway to find out the minimum range. Then I will also do a second range test in the city at lower average speeds to know the maximum range. I also wanted to know how long it takes to charge the battery at a public charger. The Audi Q4 40 E-Tron has a WLTP range of 520 kilometers. It is rear-wheel drive and has a power of 204 horsepower. The net capacity of the battery is 77 kilowatt hours. I will first test the range on the highway. There is also a little bit of sporty driving on country roads in this test. The goal of this part of the test is to find out the minimum range of this car by testing it at higher average speeds. At the beginning of the drive, the battery is fully charged to 100%. The range indicator is at 341 kilometers. The first part of the test is a drive of 116 kilometers purely on the highway, driving at 120 kilometers per hour. The battery is at 70% and average consumption is 20 kilowatt hours. I will base my range projections on the consumption and the net capacity of the battery. The total range based on this consumption is 385 kilometers, so we are already above the initially estimated range on the range indicator. I will now leave the highway for some sporty driving on country roads. This part was 45 kilometers and average consumption is with 20.3 kilowatt hours, a tiny bit more than on the highway. The battery is now down to 57% and the total average consumption is 20.1 kilowatt hours. The range dropped to 383 kilometers. Now we will drive all the way back by using the highway. I drove 168 kilometers on the highway and the average consumption for this part was 18.7 kilowatt hours. The battery is now down to 15%. The total length of the trip is 330 kilometers and the average consumption is 19.3 kilowatt hours. So the final range number is 399 kilometers, which is what I would consider the minimum range of this car. Later in this video, I will test the range at lower average speeds, but let's first recharge the car. The AC public charger has a power of 22 kilowatt, but the onboard charger of the Q4 has a power of 11 kilowatt, so this is what we will be getting. In the beginning, the car indicated that it would take 5 hours and 55 minutes to fully charge. In reality, it took me 6 hours and 25 minutes to fully charge the battery from 15% to 100%. To be complete, I want to mention that you can also use fast charging up to 125 kilowatt, but this I didn't test. Let's now test the range at lower average speeds in the city. I want to find out what the maximum range of this car could be. Let's have a look at my results. I emptied the battery down to 71% to find out the average consumption so that I could make an estimate of the total range. I stopped at 71% because the average consumption at my measuring points didn't change that much over the last intervals. In addition to that, it took me 4 hours and a half to get to 71%. Based off a consumption of 15.8 kilowatt hours, the range is 487 kilometers in the city. In conclusion, I can say that the range of the Q4 40 E-Tron lies somewhere between 399 and 487 kilometers based on similar driving conditions. I do want to point out that the weather conditions during the test drive were not optimal. It was raining all the time and temperature was sometimes as low as 16 degrees. I'm quite sure that in better weather conditions, a range in the city of around 520 kilometers WLTP is also possible, since I tested the Enyaq in much better weather conditions and I got consumption figures of around 14.3 kilowatt hours in the city. I hope I was able to answer some questions you might have about this car. If you want to know more about the Q4 E-Tron, I already published my daytime and nighttime point of view videos. I will also make a similar range test video with the Skoda Enyaq and VW ID.4. Subscribe if you want to be notified about these future videos.